Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zain, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, first of all, chosen, I want to talk to you all about how you are a big deal. You are actually far more of a big deal than you give yourself credit for. One of the major things that people end up going through when they're being called to do certain things is we tend to overanalyze and question, well, do I have enough? Am I enough? You know, will people see my value? Will people even be interested in what I have to offer? And the fact of the matter is, absolutely. As a chosen seed, your position is to shine. You was placed here to shine because you are the standard. You was placed here to show people that in spite of obstacles, you can overcome them. You can reroute. You can try something new. You can thrive in other areas. Like, that's your purpose, is to be the example and to show people that, yes, you are possible. Your vision is possible because you're possible. You're here. And it's not by mistake that you're here. So a lot of times, we can overanalyze our situations or be too rough, too hard on ourselves, overly critical of ourselves, thinking that, we have to have everything perfect. Everything has to be, wow, y'all been waiting to see my cardinal all day, and it's here as I'm out here bringing this message to you. So that's a major sign. Work on that root chakra, because scarcity mindset and lack mentality will cripple a person. Scarcity mindset and lack mentality will have you thinking that you don't have enough, and that, you have to be perfect. Everything has to be aligned perfectly before you can put forth the effort. But believe me, what you have within you is already enough. For example, I can use myself as an example. Many of you know that it was just a couple of years ago when me and my children were living in a hotel room, right? And at that time, the Most High was preparing me for my purpose. And when I finally found out what my purpose was, which is what I'm doing right now, I knew that I was going to have to be seen. I was going to need to be on camera. I was going to have to record. And I didn't have the tools that I needed at that time, but I did have a phone. And my phone did have a camera. And the only thing that I really needed was my voice, my presence, and my willingness to come forward in spite of my circumstances. So when I first began my older channel, Shavi Zane Spiritual Counselor, if you go and look at that channel, like, you can tell I was going through it, okay? I was not confident even when it came down to my physical appearance. I didn't even want to be in front of the camera because life was lifing, and it was hard on me. But the Most High knew that I needed to go through that transformation. And so I say that to say, at that time, I said, all right, I'm going to start where I'm at. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have, a fancy phone or a fancy camera. All I had was my little Android and my, something to lean the phone up against. That's what I started off with. And, for my throat chakra to get blocked, it could indicate that, some of you, you're trying to find your voice. You're trying to figure out, well, what should I say and how should I say it? Or, is there a specific way that I'm supposed to present myself? No, you're just supposed to come forward authentically and transparently from right where you are. From right where you are. Start there. If I would have waited and said, no, I can't start doing my podcast from this little room that I'm living in at that time. If I would have started from that space and said, no, I don't look pretty enough, or no, I don't have the right tools or the right lighting and all of these different things, then I would have missed out on so much of my journey, the learning experience, the beauty that came with it, the ups and downs, the wisdom that came with it, and being able to touch the lives of the people who I did touch at that time in the beginning of my journey. I would not have been able to experience any of those things. And so you can't expand out of your situation if you're not willing to start with the space that you're in right now. You got to be willing to find a sweet spot in where you're at right now and know that because you are a chosen seed, people value what you have to bring. You may not have all of that, but you are all of that. I'm going to say that one more time. You may not have all of that, those material things, the glitz and glamour, the financial resources and all of those things yet, but you are all of that because of who you are and because of whose you are. You are a child of the Most High Mother and Father, so you already rich. You're already abundant. You're already full of wisdom and have the ability to heal and to transform and to create. You're highly creative. People are inspired by you just simply by seeing the aura that you project. When you smile at them, when you say hello, just, whatever you have to bring to the table that don't even cost no money is already all of that. So imagine when you begin to grow and expand and the Most High starts to say, all right, they've learned the vital lesson that all of these things, this whole, matrix is just one big illusion. Okay. And once you push past the illusion, then you start to realize the purpose is far greater than perfection. Purpose is far greater than perfection. When I started doing my messages from right there in that room that I stayed in with my children snoring in the background, because I used to always wait until they would go to sleep, and some people would be like, I could hear somebody snoring in the background. And I would just, I wouldn't even say anything because I had to stay focused on the purpose, knowing that the message was far more important than having the perfect setup. And those people, if they were more focused on my appearance, if they was more focused on the fact that they might have noticed that I was living in an extended state, if they was more focused on the snoring that was in the background, then the message was not for them any damn way, right? But for those people who was able to gain the message and didn't care about the aesthetics, they didn't care about the hiccups, they didn't care about a little bit of noise in the background, they heard the message. Those were the people that were supposed to receive it. And so then the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team, they congratulate you, they recognize you, they reward you, and they say, job well done. You've been able to see past the illusion. You've been able to fulfill your purpose even past the illusion of not having what you needed in order to fulfill that. And so once you do that, that's when you get elevated. That's when things expand. That's when unexpected blessings and favor starts to come into your life. And then suddenly you realize, like, wow, all of these different things that you've been hoping for and praying for, now you have access to them. But the beautiful thing about having access to those things, you still begin, when you start from where you are, you start to realize, like, you never needed those things anyway to fulfill your purpose. That was just your ego. That was your lower nature that was saying, it has to be perfect. I got to be able to present it this way or that way. That was your lower nature and your ego. So one of the things that you might have to clear out is all unhealthy pride and ego that prevents me from fulfilling my purpose is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Put that on paper and burn it. All unhealthy pride and ego that prevents me from fulfilling my purpose is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. This is important because consider another example. Let's just say you know that you are a chef. You got, you put your foot in that food, okay? You make the type of food that will make somebody want to slap their mama, their auntie, their grandmama, and their daughter, right? But you say, well, I can't do it yet because I don't have the restaurant. I don't have, XYZ, all of these material things. And it's like, hold on, but you do have your gift. You do have a stove. You got access to food. So what are you waiting on? What is really holding you back? There's nothing holding you back except for your own ego and thinking that you have to present it to a world a particular way in order for people to see your value. People will see your value because of who you are. And it's not something to be in your ego about, but you do want to address the fact that, let's just say here in the natural realm, right? Right here in the 3D. If your parents were the king and queen of a nation, would you really sit back and say, I don't know if I can pursue this particular thing because, will people see my value? No, people naturally will see your value because of the royalty that you come from. And that's we talking about in the natural realm. So now when we move it on an even higher plane, the highest of the highest plane, you are a child of the Most High Mother and Father who created all nations, all things, all solar systems, all galaxies, spirit, flesh, dimensions, timelines, everything. You are the child of that source. There is nothing that can be withheld from you. You already possess the value. You don't need all of that because you are all of that. And you got to remind yourself of this. Start where you are. Start exactly where you are because you have exactly what you need already. And that's your willingness to fulfill your assignment and the natural gifts that the Most High Mother and Father has placed within you, as well as your spiritual team who's constantly pushing you and opening up doors for you, but they just need you to take the steps. Take the steps and show that you can push past your ego and that it's not about having all of the aesthetics. It's not about, are people going to wonder if, is this good enough? Man, I tell you, I promise you, y'all look at my channel, you already know. Y'all hear kids playing in the background. You hear, doors opening and closing. You hear snoring. You see me go from rooms. You've seen me do messages in my cars. It's not about the aesthetics. And if people who are drawn to you can't push past the small things, then they was not meant to be a part of your purpose in the first place. So what it does is it eliminates the unnecessary energies. So you give thanks for that part too, that they get cleared out of the way to make room for those who are really supposed to be able to enjoy and be inspired by your natural gifts. So I hope that this brought you all some clarity and inspired you all to start exactly where you're at. You have everything that you need. You have it already. It's already within you. That's my message. If you have anything to add, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance, and I'll talk to y'all next time.